throwing an example that what if you just spend $100 today to go play pool when you can take that $100, invest in something, and later on you can get 1,000 to go play to hang out. So we're still young. We have a lot of opportunity to start today and enjoy later on.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is the 22nd episode of the Far Two and Out podcast. And with me today is Jordan. For those who don't know Jordan, he is the owner of Broduction Studios, which is a brand new studio production office here in Lincoln, Nebraska. And I was doom scrolling one day on TikTok and I saw your content and I'm like, I never heard of this before. And I saw, like, as I said, your brand spanking new here in Lincoln. And I'm like, this is practically like a content house, but like in a commercial office, which I think is super duper cool. And did a little bit of research on you, and I'm like, this guy's 20 years old, is a student at UNL, and he runs a business on the side. So I love entrepreneur stories, and I had to get your story out. So Jordan, thanks for having me here.
Absolutely. I love to be here. I love to chat and tell people about my story. And yeah, I'm just excited for this interview and a little podcast and just chatting.
No, absolutely. So before I want to start with the conversation of how Production Studio started, I want to learn more about like your passions and what growing up in California was like as you grew up in Huntington Beach. So can you talk a little bit like about your childhood and how you found your passion in like cinematography, video editing, and all that?
Yes, so growing up, I'm really into art, drawing, and just be creative. But during COVID year, I found there's nothing much for you to do besides just stay at home drawing. This one I found getting to more into social media, posting on social media, but you just post a picture, no one really care about it. So you just kind of start telling story of like how do you make this piece of art happen? So that's how I get pick up a camera, just filming here and there just for fun. Then during COVID, very big fan of Do Perfect. So shout out to Do Perfect. That's how I'm here today. I watched their video, loved how they're just their energy that they bring to the audience. So we also film trick shot here and there. If you pull up clips, I'm not gonna tell the name, but if you somehow found it, you found it. But I did trick shot video just for a period of time. So when COVID stopped, that's when I get more into filming track and field. Was my first ever sport video, and I was like, okay, this is pretty fun. I'm gonna try to learn a little bit more. Then, well, it's towards the end of my freshman year. Then my sophomore year, I stumbled across a channel called Pharaoh Film. He's also a high school sport videographer at that time, but he's really popular with what he's doing. So I started watching him, see how his edit style, and I'm trying to copy it, like matching it in a way. So I went up from there, built myself as a sport videographer, and just go to every single high school game, put my name out there, and just continue to grow. That's when I'm getting into more storytelling and became Build Production. That's how the name first come up during that period of time. Uh, yeah, so the passion of becoming found myself as a videographer was during the COVID year. It's like pick up a camera and start filming.
Got it. And then you said you were doing high school sports, videography for that. So what were your favorite sports that you liked filming and
Um,
editing?
well, the top two would be have to be track. I have to stick with my origin. Track and field was the first ever sport that I film. I'm currently also work for a Husker as a track videographer and creative. And second would be football because that's where the energy is. That's where almost everybody tune in to watch football. So one, I would say the biggest sport in America. So I think people love to just see football edit.
So you said track's number 1 because it kinda comes from the family. Does that mean like your actual family or like your
Oh,
track family that you
I would
have?
say origin as in like my first ever edit was track. Then
Got
I
it.
built a portfolio in track and field edit. Um, so not like well, everybody back in high school, they're my family, and I'm still talk to them. Um, but track in general was like my number one sport edit type of content.
Was there a certain event that you liked editing or videoing, like hurdles or just 100-meter dashes or relays?
Well, for track, you have to somehow capture the whole entire event, the energy of everybody. No one's gonna be sitting there and watch you run 100 meters straight. You have to somehow make it into. You have to include almost every single event to tell a story in some way.
What would you prefer? So, as a videographer and editor, what would you prefer? Editing a video of mic'd up athletes during like an entire game, like you know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about, or just like highlight reels?
Um, a lot of respect for people who were able to make a story out of people who mic'd up.
Mhm.
It's extremely hard to like listen through the whole entire process of how an athlete go through their day. But I would prefer telling a story through visual, of cutting, making a highlight edit. Um, but combining the both would be super awesome.
Got it. And then so that was all in I wanna stay in track on track with, like, you living in California. So, when I think of California, I think of Los Angeles and how all these YouTubers and influencers and streamers, like, live in LA and they're, like, either streaming it out in public or, like, in their house. I just wanna know if you have ever witnessed, like, any like, is it on a daily basis where content creation is like, you can just walk out your neighborhood and you can see someone trying to film content?
Well, the stereotype is truth. I would say 60%. A lot of the time when you go to a coffee shop, you see someone doing some type of TikTok dance, try to go viral. It is a it is a state of people who want to go viral and they want to be like be a influencer in some kind of way. Um, it is pretty accurate when like if you go to Beverly Hill, if you go to the Grove, that kind of area, you always see someone holding a phone and a mic, even some big camera rig just to film content. So I would say it is pretty accurate and it's pretty funny.
Do you see that at all at Nebraska?
Not
I
too
would say
often.
no.
I would say like very, very small. Like, because I do recognize some people from UNL that's doing content.
Mhm.
Um, like they'll be dancing, stuff like that, just to build their own personal brand. But I don't see it as much as in California, like in the public.
Got it. Got it, got it. So, what brought you to Nebraska then from Huntington Beach?
Yeah, it was an interesting story. So, growing up, Nebraska was the first school that I visited when I was 12, I would say. And I fell in love with the school. And then during my sixth grade, it's like, what school do you want to go to? I put Nebraska as my top. And then growing up, I was like, um, well, Nebraska's always in my mind. I don't have a lot of like knowledge on football and their history and all that stuff. I really want to go to Nebraska. Then my mom surprised me with the news that we actually bought a house here on my junior year. So that's kind of put me in the mindset of, okay, well, I'm gonna be moving to Nebraska. Some sad part is I do have some scholarship and offer in the California area. Um, I do have connection with SoCal Fullerton, which is they have an ESPN program, which is matching with the Big Ten network that we have here. So it's not really that big of like a switch. But yeah, I moved to Nebraska because I know that we're gonna be moving and attending the University of Nebraska. It's one of my dream schools.
Since 6th grade, huh?
Yeah.
That's
Which is
crazy.
and but another fun fact that, my all 5 of my cousin went to the school, so I'm the 6th person in the family who went to UNL as well.
That's okay, so it's kinda like a family thing,
Yeah.
kind of.
I'm trying to push my twin, my little brother,
Ok
my 2 little brother to go to UNL as well.
how
But
young are they?
they're currently a junior in high school.
Oh, so you just gotta give them a year or 2, and then they'll
Yeah.
hopefully cave in and go to Nebraska and continue the family legacy there.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, that's awesome, I
That'll
love
be
hearing
fun.
stories like that. So now let's move on to Broduction Studios, like how this all came about. Can you start from like, can you share me the story where it just clicked in your mind, like, all right, I gotta make a content production studio, like a physical one. Can you share like where that spark lit up?
Ooh, so well, the name Production was founded in June 2021. Just a group of friends hanging out. They know that I'm doing video storytelling, but wait, I don't have a name. So one of my friends just pop up with the name Production because it's just all guys and we're just like having fun. So we just come up with Production. It's like, oh, that's a pretty cool name. So I just throughout my high school year, I just built under the name of Production, and later on switch it back for a period of time. It's called Bowie Production for a short period of time. During that time, it's because we have something happen in the team within the team, but we're gonna make a documentary out of that, so you guys can stay tuned for that. But we changed it back to Boy Production the whole entire senior year. Then I moved here. That's when I actually stopped making content completely. The reason for that was I'm in a new state. I don't have any new connection. I'm working 40, 60 hours a week. up as like a restaurant. No, not that much. 40 hours a week. Being a full time student, I have absolutely no time to do any type of content. Then I just sparked back again. I was like find my passion again through working for the Husker, going to game, and just like I really want to be able to go back to being a videographer. So I start building my social media page again, start posting, start networking, go to event and just meet new people. Then the studio location was just very small at the beginning. It's just a really small space with just four backdrop and two lighting. We have clients here and there. We have a lot of people coming in and just like take picture, just like regular portrait, headshot, all that stuff. But that's not really what I want to do, and it's really hard too because it's only so small that we cannot do too much. So the idea of becoming a full production studio starts sparking in, and I was like, I need to build something that doesn't exist yet, something that people can come in, be creative, and like an actual space rather than just filming from their own house or just go rent it out somewhere really really like or even go back to Hollywood or like California where all like the big city they have it. It doesn't exist in Lincoln, Nebraska, or I would say Nebraska in general. So we started investing in it, put a lot of my own investment and start building a studio from scratch. The number one thing we're focusing on wasn't just the studio itself, but to show people that a community we built try to build a community while I'm learning how to do more marketing side of it. And yeah, that's how the whole entire studio idea comes up. Because it was just production. Now there's the word studio behind it.
So how did you get that actual studio part? Can you share that?
Uh, just big shout out to my mom. She's the biggest help of this whole entire thing. Without her, I wouldn't make it happen. This office you seeing right now was used to be her nail salon. But if you know, nail salon is a really interesting business. Either you hit or you miss because there's so many nail salon. Like if you look at the data, you look in the map, you look up nail salon. I would say there's 40, 50 nail salon in Lincoln, Nebraska, but there's zero video production in Nebraska in general. So um, that's where the idea come up. I gave her the whole entire plan of okay, this is how much I'll be investing in. This is how much I'm expecting to came out, and I really believe this gonna work. So she say, okay, since the business is slow, she's not even here working. She just own it. So it's like, okay, let's just switch it up, and I'll give you 6 months. This is our first month of the business, and we're doing pretty well. So yeah, that's how we completely switch it into a production studio.
Would you say your mom's your biggest supporter in this?
Absolutely. Backstory is I started working when I was 12 at her nail salon back in California. That's how I learned to be more responsible, more independent, and learn how to make money. I bought all my equipment, saving up money from working at that job, but she paid me a decent amount of money for a kid. So I learned to be independent, learn how to save money, learn how to and build my own stuff. So she always been supporting me since day one. She never looked at videography as like a hobby because she know that I'm really passionate about it and want to make this into something bigger.
It's not just the best feeling ever when you like your parent like no one believes you, but your parents are like, "We believe you 100%. We're going to support you in this."
Yeah. She never forced me to become anything that I don't want to. When I first go to UNL, I was supposed to study business, but then somehow, for some reason, I don't remember how I stumbled across sport media, and I was like, "Mom, I don't think I want to sit there and learn econ, like
Accounting, all that
account
jazz.
that's all that stuff. Like I don't think I really into school like that. I'd rather have something that I actually passionate about." And she's like, and I told her about sport media, and she's like, "What is that?" It's basically what I'm doing now, but on a professional level. I was like, "Okay, try it. Like we pay for college for you to do what you want to do." So she's fully support me when I join sport media. But the funny thing is, my minor is entrepreneur, so I'm still taking almost all the class I'm supposed to take for business, which is better than have
So
a
are
whole.
you a full-time student
I am a full time student. Yes.
and you're doing this at the same time?
Yeah, I'm here every single minute that I have. Between class, I'm here doing something. After class, I'm here working on something. I'm here almost every time of the day that I have.
So how do you manage your time? Like, all right, like I gotta have family time, or I'm gonna go to a wedding, or my friends just asked me to hang out last second. How do you manage all that? Are there a lot of sacrifices with
Um,
that?
the good thing is most of the people in my teams are my friend, so I get to hang out like um almost every Monday. We're here working together doing homework. Like it's not like I'm working all the time, but I'm here to like set myself up as this is my office. This is where I get my work done. So a lot of the time we have friends coming in, but we do work instead of just hang out. We also do have time to hang out here and there, like, but that is a sacrifice you're willing to make too, because let's just say that throwing an example, that what if you just spend $100 today to go play pool when you can take that $100, invest in something, and later on you can get 1,000 to go play to hang out. So we're still young. We have a lot of opportunity to start today and enjoy later on.
How do you have a lot of in-person classes?
For this semester, no. This semester is the most relaxing semester I have since I started college. I'm able to have Monday and Friday off because I purposely did that when I select schedule so that I can have more time focusing on this. Like I cram almost all my class in 2 day. Tuesday and Thursday is when I'm fully packed with class, and the rest is just more relaxing and get more work done.
Are you stressed all the time?
Stress is a, I think stress is in everybody's mind. People always have some type of stress, but I'm trying to stay relaxed and be more calm and try to get things done in a timely manner kind of way.
So when you're not in here, or you are like doing homework or in a Zoom class or whatever, when you're not doing that, what are you doing?
It's sad to say that I don't really have a hobby. I go lifting here and there, play pool. That's like my fun activity that I do, and I just rest at home. So not really a big social person. I don't go out, hang out, party, all that stuff. But uh, I just try to find myself, keep myself busy, and well, I find joy in doing this. So this is where like my fun activity is.
Got it. Do you see No, that's not what I was gonna ask. I was gonna ask, so you jumped into here, you said you've been here for a month now, right? And you guys just did a Valentine's Day theme. Can you explain, like, how that idea came up and how it went?
Yeah. Well, me and my we look at there's Studio 8. Most people know what Studio 8 is. They're the main photo studio here in Lincoln and Omaha. So we look at their setup and we look at social media. We'll be like, there's a lot of opportunity for people to look for something to do during Valentine's Day. You either go to a restaurant, which is always overly packed, you go to a movie, which also overly packed, and you can take photos somewhere, dress up nicely. So we're looking through the market and we're like, okay, well, currently we cannot really do any kind of marketing because the studio is brand new. So let's start with some Valentine theme. Um, well, before Valentine, we did like a very, very small setup for Christmas just to test it out. Didn't work at all. Well, because we're really bad at marketing and stuff like that before then. Then we get into Valentine. We built four unique set that take a lot of time and money to do it, so that people say, "Oh wow, this something like this does exist." Just to get, well, first we fundraising for our studio, and we try to keep it affordable so people can go in, enjoy, and take a lot of pictures. So,
How do you fundraise?
well, fundraisers are like, well, we charge them really cheap.
Oh, so
Well,
when oh, that's
yeah,
what you
so
meant.
yeah,
Okay.
it's just like right now we still have investor that help us with the rent and stuff. So all the money that we make right now is saving.
Got it. Got it. Got it. And that the Valentine's theme went pretty well, you'd say?
I would say it's pretty well. We're fully booked the whole entire Valentine weekend. I do hope that we spend a little bit more time setting up instead of rushing to open. That's the only mistake we make. We open exactly 1 month before Valentine, which we thinking, okay, people usually would book during this time so that they can get their photo before Valentine. But I guess that's not how people think. So
Oh,
they
wow.
book on Valentine's weekend, so they expect the picture doesn't come out until like a couple to a week later.
So when you're setting up, is it just like one full day of just setting up I don't know, balloons and like drapes or anything like that, or is it like a whole week of like
It's
doing all that contract work?
it's split into different days because during the oh my god, I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
It take different days because during the time that we setting it up, um, we set up with different set depending on like where the construction was. During that time, I was setting up the white cyc wall, which is our like most valuable asset of the studio. That during that time, we're still doing construction for it, so we're setting up on the other side with the red backdrop, the flower arc, the butterfly, which is custom made by one of our designer. So it take a really really long time during the whole entire Christmas set, Christmas break. That's when we built that butterfly, and it's like every single piece of wire that you put together to create that butterfly. So the butterfly has been planning like for a while. Then the flower, rainforest flower is the we also planned it for a while too, but we have to wait for that wall to finish. Then we can install it. It take around 3 hours to put every single piece of every single flower from the ceiling and then all the draping and stuff. Lastly, we're gonna do a newspaper backdrop, which never happened because we couldn't find newspaper to make that setup happen. You either use newspaper at this time when it's just there's a bunch of color. We wanted black and white, but we couldn't find it anywhere. So we just end up using a light shape there, which is really we use it a lot now. So four different setup, variety of time to make it happen.
So you have a whole setup, and then I want to talk about this room too. This is super cool, as we talked about earlier. This is a podcast room for those who can't tell, and obviously, I don't know if you brought it up, but with the podcast room, I'm assuming all people have to do is just book it online. You charge a certain amount, they pay that certain amount, and then they're either in here for an hour or 2 hours just yapping in front of a microphone, like
Yeah,
what we're doing right now.
yeah.
So, what was it like setting up this room?
This room is actually another funny story. Is originally this room was on the other room, which is bigger. It's a 10 by 12 area. Right now it's down to 8 by 12, which is more narrow. Um, I love my neighbor, but their entrance and exit is the door right behind. So every time they go out, they slam the door really hard. And another thing is our Wi-Fi have this really weird beep that come up at any moment. They just go beep. So I was like, I told my little brother who's helped out a lot with building all of this. I told him I was like, I think we need to take everything down and move it. So we spent a whole entire day, take everything here down, all the lighting, all like the electrical wire. Then we switched room. Originally, this was our office. And we switched to which is work out better. We have a bigger office now, and this space worked perfectly for podcasts. And there, we're sound treated, so it's a bit nicer than the other room.
That's lit. And then can you explain? So the other room is an editing room, practically, right?
We call it the control room because we have multiple things going on at the same time in that room. Yeah, but that's the control room, and this is the podcast room.
So besides podcasting and like the photo shoot setup that you guys have out there, what else do you guys do? Do you guys work outside? Oh, geez, do you guys work outside of the studio?
Yeah, most of our work is actually outside. The reason why our focus is in the studio right now is because we're in winter. It's really hard to set up something far in advance just to know that it's gonna snow or it's gonna be bad weather that day or super cold. So right now, most of our work right now is in the studio. Like for example, shout out to Joy Ranger. They're coming in on Monday. I don't know when this episode is gonna come out, but they're coming in on when is Monday? March 2nd. March
It'll be March
2nd.
2nd. Yep.
March 2nd. A local band's coming in here to do a live music video. And then we also have some brand that coming in to do a brand shoot, boxing video, hype edit, all that fun stuff, just in our little space. And then our podcast also coming out too.
So you have all these clients coming in, and you brought up earlier how you said your marketing sucks, but how did they hear about you? Was it just through social media, like me?
Well, marketing was bad before New Year until I learned a lot more about it, and I run social media right now. Um, I will talk more about like how our team contribute to the marketing side, but uh, people heard about us mainly through the College of Journalism because I love to yap about the studio. I love to put my word out there. I talk to all the professor, all my friend. They hear about it and then they help me spread the message of what we're doing here. So that's how we get those type of clients. So it's more like
Word of mouth.
collaboration. Yeah, word of mouth worked really, really well in Lincoln, Nebraska.
Wow. I honestly thought word of mouth kinda died off, but for
Actually,
for some companies, it works still.
it's really surprised me because a lot of the time we try to get into like video retainer. It's like a side gig just to like do something. A lot of people, I come up to them, I talk about production and what we do, like what we offer, and they'll be like, my business is doing pretty well. It's just word of mouth. We don't really need videos, which is really surprising to me.
Have
But
you, sorry to cut you off.
no worries.
Have you ever not recruited, but have you ever had a Husker athlete come here and, like, make content in here yet? Like, because you said you did, or not did, you still work with, like, the media team, with the Husker football team and the track team. So have you ever brought up, like, "Hey, if you guys want content or whatever, you can come to my production studio." Have you ever brought that up to them yet?
We do talk to some ex football player just to get the idea of like what we potentially can help them with. Um, this might come out wrong for some people, but we don't really want to focusing too much on the athlete because if we be completely real, might play college football for here and there, and then they do something else after
They
college.
leave or
Yes,
transfer.
they leave or transfer. So there's nothing really relevant to us to have someone representing us as an athlete. We're focusing more on brand. Like if they own a brand and they would like us to help them with, absolutely, because that's their brand. But if they are their own brand, I don't know what we can control. Like if something bad happens, some scandal happen, that will affect us in some
You
way.
really think it would affect you guys?
I would like, oh, you used to work with them, stuff like that. So we don't really focusing too much on athlete, but we do build something like build a brand of some type, like some sponsorship that we can help them film here and there. But talking about like filming content just for them, taking pictures just for them, the Husker got it.
Got it. That's fair. Now you bring
Yeah.
it up like that. So you have you did your Valentine's thing. So what's next? As of right now, we're recording this interview here in late February. March is coming up. What are your March plans or
March
spring plans, I should say?
March plan will be in studio content with first is production. Our marketing will it's already starting. Our campaign is already starting, but we're gonna do more of community and team focus for March. Then we get into our wedding season as well. Our team also work on weddings project here and there, but that's not like our main focus. But we offer wedding service as well. So this is during the wedding booking season. Well, bookings already happened way past, but we do have project that coming up for weddings. Talk about studio setup in general. The next one will be auto in December, which is Christmas.
So you have the whole year planned out already, or
For the studio,
for the
not
studio?
really, but for outside project we do.
God, do you like? Stupid question, but would you prefer doing everything in here, or do you not mind going out to your clients?
I prefer having my team create in here, but project wise, we do a lot of car shoot as well. So we wait into the summer to do that. But we like to be more like action, like being in set, building set. Filming wedding is very fun too for some people. You know, some people enjoy it, some people hate it because like it's one take. Um, s- Car is like one of our most fun type of thing that we do, and then we're trying to try get into more of like real life action stuff, being outside, filming commercial. We have drone guy, we have all that fun stuff. Yeah, I
So
don't.
you brought up your team, how you like to have your team in here. How do you find these people to come onto the team?
So that's funny. As of last week, we changed up the application process. Originally, it was me recruiting. So I went out and I was like, "Hey, you want to join this team? It's fun. We need people. We need yeah." Then we understand that okay, now that before that was a company, before we are an LLC, it's just a team. Then when we get more into the business, production studio was founded. I need to look for people who can get stuff done and not ruining the company reputation. So someone I can trust with getting stuff done. So our application process is extremely simple. If you're a content creator in Lincoln or Nebraska or Kearney or even out of state, we only need to do one thing for us, which is a commitment post. every 2 weeks you produce 2 pieces of reels. So 2 pieces of fun, relatable production, video, photo, day in the life of a drone photographer, stuff like that, just to show that okay, you'll be able to build your content like every single week. Because if you know we're a content production house, not a video production, not a photo studio, we're focusing on making content and building personal brand for every single member that we have. So every person in this team have to have some type of passion to create content for themselves first, but related to us in some way so that they can join us and show that okay, they understand a little bit of marketing, they understand storytelling, and they understand how visual and production work. With all of that access, prove to us that okay, you have the ability to do bigger and more. We're not saying that someone just pick up a camera cannot do it, but we do have some type of we do have some type of criteria for people to so that people can prove to us that they can be here and be one of us.
So let's talk about equipment. As we talked about before with your old podcast microphones. For those who don't know, that these are my personal podcast microphones. We switched them out, but this just came to mind. If someone wants to start like being a content creator full time or a video editor, do they need to have the best equipment,
Um,
or
the
do they
only
just need to get like like a cheap
you can create
whatever?
content with this. The only reason why we have such expensive equipment is because we want it to be quantity and quality. We wanted to make both quality work and mass produce it. You either pick. They say quality is better than quantity, but why not both? So we combine the both. We have editors. I'm an editor myself to get all those footage out really quick. But if you're just someone who's starting, you don't need a bunch of equipment. All you need is just sitting in front of the window to get nice lighting, set up your phone. If you want to invest, maybe get a DJI Mini or I'm sorry. We're not sponsors, so I don't have to say that. But DJI Mini, they're like $80, $90 to get better quality audio to start creating. You don't really need to build a bunch of equipment.
For software, what if you guys don't mind me asking, what program do you guys use? Like I use Premiere Pro, and then for clips I use CapCut Pro. I pay subscriptions for that. What do you guys use?
We use Premiere Pro. But one of our members, he is more in the color grading aspect, so he used DaVinci Resolve just for color grading. If you want to edit on them, it's fine. But if any project that related to us, he can color grade them, but then he had to bring them into Premiere Pro to edit on there. So first, it's easier for me to access all the file. Second, if they want to learn something, I can show them how to use it on Premiere Pro rather than learning something completely different just for one person.
When I'm looking around, even like out there, you have this is kind of like your logo, and then you on even online, you kind of have this online too, where it says it's just cats wearing a hoodie that says "Young Wild Creative." What's the message behind, I guess, that motto?
Yeah, so I still don't have the name for these two yet, but the black cat, his name is Burrow.
Which black cat? The middle one or the one far right? Okay.
So Burrow is our main mascot of production. When we first come up with the idea was okay, we need something to show people rather than just a logo. We want something that's more capture to the people, and we own in my family we own cats. So I was like, okay, let's pick a black cat, black and white. That's like the idea. Since we have our motto is young wild creative. Young is our whole entire team is under 25. We want to build something to show people that you don't need to have experience to start your own work. So we're gonna get more if you want to like learn more about like I hate the 9 to 5 job. I don't want to have my own boss, and I'm not a boss myself. So no one here have their boss. My boss is my client. Um, that's my only boss. So while is our videographer and our project that we do, we want to focusing more on like the fun of videography rather than just commercial work. And even if we do commercial work, we're gonna try to make it as fun and wild as possible. Like be creative. And lastly, creative. It's just that's what we are here for. We are creative. We're creators, and yeah.
What's your favorite part about doing all of this?
My favorite part is to first I would say my favorite part is the community, the team of people, like the smart people. Um, I wouldn't say like not smart people, like the creative people, people who have the same mindset as I do and want to like build something for themselves rather than just sit there and wait for an opportunity.
What bugs you the most when editing videos?
Ugh, the hardest part about the hardest part about editing video is knowing how to start it. So I have my own style of starting video that if you watch it, they're pretty similar, which is the fast transition cut, just to get that hook. But the hardest part about editing is you first, if it's a storytelling piece, whoever wrote it had to know what they're doing. You have to write a hook to like capture people's attention. If there's nothing for you to like hook onto it, then it's the editor job to find a visual hook of some type. So what we did was I taught most of our member that how you can start a hook to like get the video going. Um, that's the hardest part about start editing is to find the video. After that, if you have the skill to just know what you're doing, you just maneuver through it pretty easy.
So when say you record like a 2-hour football game,
Yeah.
like a whole Husker football game from like start to finish with your camera, how long does it take to make that 2-hour video into like a quick 5-minute clip of like the best highlights with all like the cool stuff?
So here's a little fun fact for the people who work for the football team that not a lot of people knows about is every single time they finish their filming, they have to go back to the editing lab and rename every single footage. So after they're renaming every single footage, they can mark whichever clip was best to use, and then that's how they edit it. I don't edit high video for football for the Husker, but um, well, if you're the one behind the camera and you filmed it, you should know which time frame and which shot that you get to tell the story out of that. But just fun fact for the people who watching and a Husker fan, all the creative on the Husker football team, or I think it's every single like big collegiate or even NFL, they have to rename every single piece of footage that they film, and that takes hours. Like imagine you watching a 3 hour football game, you spend another 3 hour renaming every single clip. Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
So people who look down on the creatives, now you know a little fun fact about us.
Do you think video editors don't get the appreciation they deserve publicly?
Absolutely.
Guys, when we're literally on the topic of video editors and producers not getting enough appreciation, the camera gave out, and thank God we have Eli back here catching that. So if it wasn't for him, this interview would be messed up. So back on that topic, you said that you do believe or you don't believe that video editors get their appreciation publicly.
Yeah, so you said video editors?
Yeah. So, like, for
Um,
example, like Logan Paul has a guy named Caleb for the Impulsive podcast, and then Joe Rogan has Jamie as his producer. I think Logan and Joe Rogan, they give a good amount of, a good amount of appreciation towards their editors whenever they're doing an interview. Maybe not every single interview, but they appreciate them and they show that. Do you agree with that or not?
so absolutely, like, would you rather watching a video of just someone talking the whole entire way, or you like to see some captions, some movement, some pictures in it? Um, the editor job is extremely important. Um, Without them, you cannot see an actual. They see something that you don't see, rather than just watching a regular video and just having a talking shot. They add something to make the video better, even up to color grading, sound designing, all that small little element that people don't really notice. The editor is the one who has to look for those and make it into something that you would stick around to watch from the start to to the end. So I would say that they're really really important. And shout out to every single video editors out there.
Dude, when I think of the first thing when I think of video editors is Mr. Beast editors, they have to be getting paid six figures because no matter if it's a YouTube video or a Mr. Beast games on Amazon Prime, I think that's so much work. Because
Yeah,
I've seen a clip where it's like like there's just milliseconds of editing that could take like 5 minutes per edit or whatever. And I'm just like,
yeah.
gosh dang, and no one ever talks about it.
I just saw the final season finale. I'm not spoiling anything, but
I saw it too
the
yesterday.
the starting clip of that film, I would say take weeks
Weeks?
to animate every single piece of that. Because that is super impressive. Someone has to sit there and design and draw every single piece of animation going through that. Yeah, so
So
mad respect for like the high end video
so do you
editors.
think you could do that?
Absolutely not.
Do you think you can with more experience over the next couple of years? Do you think you could build up to be a Mr. V's not saying you would work for him, but like to that editor level? Do you know him? Does that
Yes.
do you understand?
It's something that most of the people, well, a little fun facts too. The editor for Mr. Beast, the head editor, is the used to be Eric friends. Do you know
Oh,
that Mac?
Yeah, Eric from the YouTuber
Yeah,
Eric. Yeah.
YouTuber Eric. The head editor is his friend, someone who start editing in his basement. They're a roommate, and they just start making video and editing. So it's just about putting your mindset into learning something. I didn't know how to pick up I don't know how to start filming where I am today without picking up the camera and start learning. So looking into like editing that style, it would take a lot of time, but it is something that I'm starting to learn a little bit right now.
So you said earlier in the very beginning, you got inspiration from Dude Perfect.
Yeah.
Was there any other content creators, influencers, celebrities that you're influenced by?
Well, always in my heart, do perfect. I'm still watching every single their video when they first came when they come out. Um, Influencer, well, creator wise, Pharaoh Film. I also mentioned earlier is still one of my top creators. I watch a lot of. Why am I blanking most of their name right now? But I learned how to be more storytelling through travel video. Of I cannot think of his name. I cannot say his name wrong on
Yeah,
screen right now because
I get what you're saying.
but yeah, I got a lot of inspiration from creators who built themselves from absolutely nothing, and I want to be like them and
Do
be
you
able
have
to do that.
do you have a mentor in this field?
Uh, I wouldn't say so, because well, I learn a lot from just people I talk to and build myself from it. But mentor, I don't
So
have
you
one.
learn from experience and talking to other people, getting ideas from them, to my
Yes.
understanding. No, that's awesome, dude. What's a common mistake you see other content producers or owners making that holds them back?
Uh, Speaking from personal experience, the number one mistake is not starting. If you're not willing to start and you just sit there and be like, okay, I'm gonna spend 2 months making this video super cool, expecting millions of views, and it flop. What are you gonna do from it? You spend 2 months completing this project that no one really care. The biggest thing about social media that they don't really care that much. Um, it's a video can go viral, but you can have 200 followers. So the number one thing is being consistent and posting and learn every single time you post, rather than just wait and say, I don't have the right equipment. I don't have the right time. I don't have time to do it. I was at that point until I switched to what I'm doing right now to yeah, to just produce more content and start doing it.
What's one of the biggest operational challenges you deal with working here? So, like, is it the marketing aspect? Is it getting your contract? You don't say employees. I'm just trying to word. I'm just gonna say contract employees. How about
Yeah.
that? So those contract employees, is it hard? Is that the hardest part? Either hiring them or getting them like focused to actually doing their job. What is the biggest operational challenge with owning a content production studio?
Yeah, for the longest time, everything produced here is always me. So I do 90 to 100% of every single piece of content. The reason why we build it to a bigger, like recruiting more people in is to first taking up that work. It's really hard for you to sit there and film a video by yourself when you don't know what you look like behind the camera. That was like for the longest time. That's what I was doing, just filming myself talking to a camera. But having someone behind the camera and know a little bit about framing, lighting, that will help out a bit better. At the same time, the biggest operational clients that we have right now is looking for people who value what we're doing. Right now, when people look at us, they say, "Oh, it's a bunch of kid." But at the same time, they don't look at the quality, but they're judging people by the character. But no, they're judging the people by their age and their experience. I would say that some photographer can spend 7 years and still have bad photo, rather than some kid who just pick up a camera, willing to learn every single day, will be better than someone with 7 years. So the ultimate goal is to find someone who value our production, everything that we put into it, rather than just say that, oh, you guys just a startup company. Why would we trust you?
And to clarify, you're 20 years old, right?
Yeah.
You're not even old enough to drink, and yet here you are. Just again, as you said, you're putting the effort and time to open a production studio, continue to learn, and also help businesses and clients out. So that's very cool to see from a 20-year-old, or for a 20-year-old,
Thank you.
from coming from a 25-year-old. I'm not unk yet, but I'm getting there, unfortunately.
No, I don't think you get there anytime soon. So
Yeah.
still very young.
Yeah. How do you how do you handle creative burnout for yourself or your team when things are getting consistently, like, I guess, bad? Not bad, just when things are getting consistent, there's no breaks. How do you not burn out?
Well, like mentioned earlier, one of the reasons why we have more people coming in was to take a little bit less work for me, even though I still have to do those work. But burnout, I don't think I have experienced that yet, even though the amount of workload I have. But I try still try to go sleep a bit early. I don't go out. I don't party. So I go home, just relax, get up the next morning ready to do it again. But the most fun thing about being a creative and creators is you make your own schedule. You find out what works best for you, and go up from there, rather than just get up, do the same routine over and over again. I think that's where the burnout will get to you eventually.
Got it. Well, you guys are brand spanking new, and I wish I had more questions about more experiences that you guys have, but unfortunately, we are done with this interview. But I feel like we could come back again once you have like 2 years underneath your belt, and we have more stories to share about. So, my last questions for you is, where can people find you on social media, or what's your website called?
Yeah, so you can check us out on Instagram at Broduction Studio. Should be the first thing to show up because it's weird. Second, you can also find Production Dash Wild. That's where most of our project outside of the studio will be. Our website is also productionstudio.com. Production Studio. So
With a
just
B.
like a apostrophe S after production.com. You can also just look us up on Google Production Studio at the same time to find all the information as well.
And for someone that's watching this interview right now and they want to be in your shoes, what's the best advice you can give them?
Ooh, let me think. I don't want to give someone an advice that, you know, just bad. Um, why am I blinking? Well, just speaking from my heart, that there's no such thing as being too young or too old. McDonald isn't becoming a corporation without I think he's like 70 something year old at that time to build McDonald's to where it is today. Jeff Bezos started Amazon in his basement. Mark Zuckerberg did that when he was in school. So everybody did have to put their mindset into something, believe in it, and build from it. There's no age, there's no gender, racial, all that stuff. It's just a mindset. Start today and believe in it. Work for it.
Jordan, thank you for your time.
Thank you, Connor.
Gotta shake your hand. Appreciate your time. And thank you guys for listening.
Thank you.